Most men think drama happens because a woman is difficult, emotional, or trying to ruin the relationship. That's the surface explanation. But if you've ever been with a woman who genuinely likes you and she still starts a fight out of nowhere, still gets cold after a good date, still creates tension right when things are going well, you've probably asked yourself one question: why would she do that if she likes me? Here's the answer most men never hear, and it changes everything. A lot of the drama is not about the topic. It's a test, not always a conscious test, not always a planned one, but a psychological one, a nervous system test, a stability test, a leadership test. She is trying to find out one thing: can you stay calm when my emotions rise? Because that tells her if you're safe. Not safe in the weak, boring sense, safe in the deep, biological sense. Steady, grounded, capable, not easily controlled, not easily shaken. And here's the twist that makes men lose the game. Most guys think the test is about being unreactive. So they go numb, they go quiet, they go distant, they act like they don't care. And that's exactly how you fail. Because the point is not to be emotionless, the point is to be emotionally stable. And there's a difference. A calm man is present and steady, an indifferent man is absent and withholding. A calm man can hold the frame without punishing. An indifferent man uses silence as a weapon. Women don't test calm men with drama because they want chaos. They test calm men because calm is rare. And when something rare appears, people unconsciously poke it to see if it's real. If you've ever bought something expensive, something high quality, you know what you do the first week. You test it, you push it, you see if it breaks under pressure. That's what this is. But in relationships, that pressure doesn't come as a simple question. It comes as emotion, it comes as mood, it comes as a sudden argument about something small. Because emotional spikes reveal truth. When things are calm, everybody can look confident. When things are smooth, everybody can look masculine. But the moment tension appears, most men collapse into one of two extremes. They either explode, argue, defend, and lose control. Or they withdraw, shut down, and become cold. And both extremes are a gift to the wrong kind of dynamic. If you explode, she learns she can move you. If you shut down, she learns you're not emotionally available. So the calm man has to do something different. He has to stay warm while staying firm. He has to lead the tone. He has to respond without reacting. He has to understand the hidden reason behind the test and then pass it without becoming a robot. That's what this video is. I'm going to break down why women test calm men with drama, what it actually means depending on the type of woman you're dealing with, and the exact principles you use to handle it without losing attraction and without losing yourself. Because when you understand this, you stop taking the bait. You stop arguing about the surface topic. You stop trying to win the fight. And you start doing what calm men do. You control the temperature, you protect your standards, and you make her reveal her true intentions. Let's start at the core. There are two reasons women create drama, two categories, and if you confuse them, you'll either overreact to something harmless or tolerate something toxic. Category 1, insecurity-driven drama. Category 2, control-driven drama. They look similar in the moment, but they are completely different underneath. Insecurity-driven drama comes from anxiety, attachment wounds, fear of abandonment, fear of being powerless, fear of being unseen. It's messy, but it's not evil. It's a woman whose nervous system doesn't know how to ask for reassurance with maturity, so she tries to pull closeness through tension. Control-driven drama is different. Control-driven drama comes from entitlement, manipulation, ego, or a need to dominate the dynamic. It's not about connection, it's about leverage, and the calm man must handle both with discipline, but he must not treat them the same. Because one can be repaired, the other must be exited. Now here's what most men don't understand. When you are calm, you trigger tests more often, not because you're doing something wrong, but because calm creates a question in her mind. Is he real or is he acting? Is his confidence stable or is it fragile? Does he stay grounded because he's strong or because he doesn't care? And women are extremely sensitive to the difference between those two. A man who is calm because he doesn't care gives off emptiness. A man who is calm because he's strong gives off safety. So when she senses calm and she's not sure which one it is, she will create a moment of pressure to find out. This is why some women start arguments right after a perfect date. This is why some women get weird when you stop over-texting. This is why some women pull back when you start treating them well. Because the mind does something strange when it experiences something good that it doesn't fully trust. It tests it. People test loyalty, people test commitment, people test strength. And in dating, women test emotional leadership. Now, before some guy hears this and thinks, so women are bad, understand something. Men test too. Men test differently. Men test through distance, through consistency checks, through observation, through boundaries around respect, femininity, cooperation. Everyone tests. Testing is how humans reduce uncertainty. The difference is that many women's tests are emotional. They will create tension to see what kind of man you are under pressure. And if you don't know that, you will fail without even realizing you were being evaluated. So let's go deeper into why it happens. Why do women test calm men specifically? Because calm men are not desperate, and desperation is the currency that keeps manipulation alive. When a man is desperate, he will do anything to avoid losing her. He will apologize even when he did nothing wrong. He will over-explain, he will chase, he will negotiate his standards, and a woman, consciously or unconsciously, learns she can steer him. But a calm man is different. A calm man can lose her, not because he wants to, because he won't destroy himself to keep her. That creates a unique kind of tension in the woman. If she's healthy, that tension turns into respect and attraction. If she's insecure, that tension turns into anxiety. If she's manipulative, that tension turns into a power struggle. And that's why the drama test shows up, because drama is a shortcut to answers. Drama reveals who you really are. Here's the hidden reason in one sentence. Some women create drama with calm men to see if your stability is real and to see whether you will lead, fold, or disappear when emotions get high. That's the test. Now, the question is, how do you pass it? First, you need to recognize it early. Most men don't get trapped in drama because they're weak. They get trapped because they take the topic literally. She says, "You didn't text me fast enough." He thinks the argument is about texting. She says, "You looked at that girl." He thinks the argument is about that girl. She says, "You don't care." He thinks the argument is about proving he cares, and that's where the trap is. Because the content is rarely the real issue. The real issue is the emotional dynamic behind it. The test is not, did you text fast enough? The test is, will you panic when I feel uncertain? The test is not, did you look at that girl? The test is, can you remain grounded under accusation? The test is not, do you care? The test is, will you abandon your self-respect to convince me? So, the first rule of calm masculinity in modern dating is this: never argue about the surface. Address the pattern underneath. Calm men don't debate emotions. They lead emotions. And leading doesn't mean controlling her. It means controlling your part of the interaction. It means setting the tone, the standard, and the direction. Now, let's break down the drama test into the three most common forms it appears. Form 1, the vague accusation. You're different. You're acting weird. You don't care. You're not the same as before. Notice how impossible that is to solve. There's no specific behavior. There's no clear request. It's a cloud. That cloud is not a request for logic. It's a demand for emotional reassurance. And if you jump to defend yourself, you lose, because you enter her frame that you're guilty and must prove innocence. Calm men don't accept vague accusations. They force clarity, not with anger, with precision. They say, be specific. Or, what exactly do you mean? Or, what happened that made you feel that? That does two things. It slows the emotional escalation, and it forces her to communicate like an adult. If she's healthy, she will come down and explain. If she's manipulative, she will resist clarity because clarity kills control. Form 2, the sudden mood swing. Everything is good, then suddenly she's cold. Short replies, dry tone, distance. A lot of men panic here and start chasing. What's wrong? Did I do something? Are we okay? Talk to me. That panic is the exact reaction the test is designed to pull out of you. Because if you chase her mood, she learns your peace depends on her approval. Calm men don't chase moods, they maintain their pace. They don't punish her coldness, they don't beg for warmth. They give space without anxiety. And then they offer a calm invitation to communicate. Let me know when you want to talk normally. Or, you seem off. If something's on your mind, say it directly. If not, we're good. Notice what that does. It communicates presence without neediness. It signals standards without hostility. It gives her a door back to maturity without you crawling on the floor to open it. Form 3, the manufactured argument. This is the classic. She picks a fight about something small, then it escalates into a character attack. Not the issue. You're just like, the reason this is powerful is because it triggers men's ego. Men want to defend their identity. Men hate being misrepresented. So they argue, they explain, they present evidence, and that's how you lose control. Calm men don't fight for their identity. They state the standard and exit the chaos. I'm not doing insults. We can talk when it's respectful. I'm not going back and forth. Then they step away. This is not avoidance. This is emotional leadership. Because you're not refusing conversation, you're refusing chaos. And that's the difference between a calm man and a passive man. A passive man avoids conflict because he's afraid. A calm man delays conflict until it can be handled with respect. Now, here's where you must be very clear. If you do this correctly, one of two things happens. A healthy woman calms down and becomes cooperative. A toxic woman escalates and tries to punish you. And that's how you identify who you're dealing with. This is why calm men win, because calm creates truth. Now, let's talk about the hidden reason behind these tests more deeply. A lot of women grew up learning that emotional intensity equals love, not because they're dumb, because of conditioning. They watched relationships where arguing meant closeness. They watched parents where chaos was normal. They watched movies where drama was romance. They had past relationships where the man only showed emotion when things were intense. So their nervous system equates calm stability with boredom. If a woman has that pattern, calm masculinity can trigger discomfort. She thinks, why isn't he reacting? Does he care? Is he hiding something? Am I losing him? So she creates drama to get a spike, because spikes feel familiar, and familiar feels safe even when it's destructive. This is why some women feel more connected during a fight than during peace, because their nervous system is addicted to intensity. If you don't understand this, you will either become her emotional drug dealer, feeding chaos to keep her engaged, or you will become resentful and cold. Neither is the answer. The answer is to lead her into a healthier emotional pattern, not by lecturing her, by setting standards and staying steady. You become the calm center that her chaos cannot move. Over time, if she's healthy enough, her system adapts. She starts associating calm with safety and desire. But if she's not healthy enough, she will sabotage calm repeatedly because she cannot tolerate what she cannot control. And that's where your standards decide your future. Now, I want to give you a practical model you can run in real time. I call it Calm Men Don't Take the Bait. The model has 4 steps. Step 1, identify the bait. Step 2, slow the tempo. Step 3, force clarity. Step 4, decide the consequence. Let's break that down. Step 1, identify the bait. Bait is anything designed to pull an emotional spike. Vague accusations, sudden coldness, sarcasm, passive-aggressive comments, jealousy references, threats, comparisons to other men. If you feel your nervous system heat up, if you feel the urge to defend, chase, or punish, you're probably looking at bait. Step 2, slow the tempo. Drama escalates when the tempo rises. Fast words, fast accusations, fast emotional swings. Calm men slow everything down. They speak slower, they breathe, they pause, not as a tactic, as regulation. This alone gives you control, because whoever controls the pace controls the interaction. Step 3, force clarity. Clarity is the enemy of manipulation and the friend of connection. You ask for specifics. What exactly happened? What do you want from me right now? What are you actually asking? If she can answer that like an adult, it's workable. If she can't, you don't keep dancing. Step 4, decide the consequence. This is the part most men skip. They either argue endlessly or forgive instantly. Calm men use consequences, not punishment. Consequences. Consequences are simply the natural result of behavior. Respect gets presence, disrespect gets distance, maturity gets investment, chaos gets less access. That's it. Now, because I know men need real language, I'm going to give you specific phrases that pass these tests without becoming a robot. When she's vague, I'm open to a real conversation. Be specific. When she escalates, I'm not going to argue. If you want to talk respectfully, we can. When she tries to guilt you, I'm not going to prove myself through drama. When she goes cold, you seem off. If something is bothering you, say it directly. If not, we're good. When she threatens to leave, do what you feel you need to do. I'm not negotiating with threats. When she says, you don't care, I care. I just don't do chaos to prove it. These lines work because they do 3 things. They show emotional presence, they set a standard, they refuse the bait. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake men make while trying to be calm. They confuse calm with passivity. They think being calm means letting everything slide. No, calm is not tolerance. Calm is not weakness. Calm is the ability to enforce standards without emotional instability. A man who tolerates disrespect to stay calm is not calm. He's afraid. A calm man can say no. A calm man can walk away. A calm man can end the conversation. And he can do it without anger, without threats, without trying to hurt her. That's what makes it powerful. Now let's go deeper into the psychology, because if you understand this, you'll stop personalizing tests. Women test calm men for three main reasons. Reason one, to check strength. Women are wired to respect a man who can handle pressure. Life is pressure. Money pressure, career pressure, family pressure, social pressure. If you fold under emotional pressure, she learns you fold under pressure. If you explode under emotional pressure, she learns you're dangerous under pressure. If you stay calm under emotional pressure, she learns you're competent. This is not about domination, it's about capability. Reason two, to check investment. This is where men get tricked. Some women test because they want proof you're invested. They poke you to see if you care. But if you give them proof by begging, chasing, and over-explaining, you teach them that your investment is available on demand. So the test becomes endless. Calm men pass this by, caring without chasing. They show steady interest, but they don't emotionally overpay. They keep their rhythm. They don't let her mood dictate their worth. Reason three, to check control. This is the ugly one. Some women test because they want leverage. They want to know if they can steer you. Can they make you jealous? Can they make you apologize? Can they make you chase? Can they make you drop boundaries? If yes, they will keep pushing. Because once a person learns they can control you, they stop respecting you. And calm men pass this by, refusing control games. They don't compete. They don't beg. They don't argue. They select. Now, the hidden reason behind the drama test is that calm men represent a different kind of masculine power. Not loud power, not aggressive power, quiet power. A man who does not need to win every moment. A man who does not need constant validation. A man whose identity is internal. That type of man destabilizes the usual dynamic in modern dating. Because modern dating is full of men who are externally controlled, controlled by attention, controlled by the fear of losing her, controlled by the desire to be chosen, controlled by loneliness. So when a woman meets a man who isn't controlled by those things, it triggers her. Healthy women find it attractive, unhealthy women find it threatening. That's why calm men experience tests, because tests are how people try to regain certainty. Now, let's make this even more practical with real scenarios. Scenario one, the you changed trap. She says, you changed. Most men react like they're on trial. What do you mean I changed? I'm the same. I've been busy. I've been stressed. And now you're defending. Calm response is simple. Maybe I did. In what way? Then you listen. If she says something mature, you address it. If she says something vague, you say, be specific. I'm open to hearing it. If she tries to shame you back into chasing, you say, I'm not going to prove myself through pressure. If you want to talk, talk. Scenario two, the jealousy bait. She mentions another guy or says, my friend said I should date someone like him. Most men take it personally and compete. Calm response. That's your choice. Or, if you're exploring other options, I'm not competing. And then you move forward calmly. The power here is that you don't get angry and you don't get insecure. You simply refuse the game. Scenario three, the sudden fight after closeness. You had a good night, intimacy, connection. The next day, she's irritated, picking at you. This is common with anxious attachment. Closeness triggers fear, then the nervous system looks for distance. Calm man doesn't punish. He names it. You seem tense today. Then he leads it. We can talk when you're calm. If she softens, good. If she escalates, you exit. Scenario 4, the emotional escalation. She raises her voice, she starts insulting, she brings up old issues. Most men either match it or beg. Calm man sets a line. I'm not doing yelling. I'll talk when it's respectful. Then he stops engaging. Not ghosting, not revenge, just no access to chaos. This is how you train the relationship. The relationship becomes what you tolerate. Now, here's a truth men need to accept. If you reward drama with attention, you will get more drama. If every time she escalates, you give more emotion, more chasing, more reassurance, you teach her that chaos works, and then you'll complain that she's always dramatic. But you trained it. Calm men train the opposite. They reward maturity, they reward direct communication, they reward respect, and they starve the chaos. Over time, either she adapts or she leaves. Both outcomes are wins. Because the goal is not to keep every woman. The goal is to build a relationship that doesn't destroy your nervous system. Now, let's talk about why men fail these tests. Men fail because they have the wrong objective. Their objective is keep her happy. Wrong objective. Your objective is maintain your standards and keep the interaction respectful. Because if you try to keep her happy, you will sacrifice your spine. And a man without a spine will never be respected long term. Here's what a lot of guys don't want to hear. A woman cannot relax into femininity with a man who has no emotional leadership. If you collapse into pleasing behavior, she becomes the leader. And most women don't want to lead the emotional frame of the relationship. They may grab power when you give it away, but they don't respect it. So she tests you, she pushes, she creates tension because she wants to know if you can handle the leadership role. And leadership in relationships isn't being controlling. Leadership is being stable. Leadership is setting direction. Leadership is handling conflict without losing your identity. Now I'm going to give you the single most important concept in this entire video. There is a difference between connection and compliance. Many men think the goal is to get her to comply. Agree with me. Stop being emotional, stop complaining, stop testing, but that's not connection. Connection is emotional safety and mutual respect. So the calm man doesn't aim for compliance, he aims for healthy connection. He says, I will not participate in disrespect, but I will participate in a real conversation. That's the balance. Now, what if she keeps testing? What if it becomes constant? That's where you need a second concept, pattern recognition. A test once in a while is normal. A test constantly is a red flag. If every week there's a new crisis, a new accusation, a new mood swing, a new drama wave, you're not in a relationship. You're in an emotional treadmill. And here is the hard truth. Some women do not want peace. They want intensity. They want the relationship to feel like a movie. And movies are not built on calm stability. Movies are built on conflict. If she needs the relationship to be intense to feel alive, your calm will always be a problem because peace will feel empty to her. That is not something you can fix with better lines. That's a character issue. That's a maturity issue. And calm men don't negotiate with immaturity. They observe, they set standards, and if the pattern doesn't change, they exit. Now, let's talk about how to detect whether it's insecurity or control. Here's the test. When you respond with calm clarity, what happens next? If it's insecurity, she softens. She may still be emotional, but she becomes reachable. She starts explaining. She accepts responsibility. She tries to repair. If it's control, she escalates. She twists your words. She blames you for her behavior. She punishes you for holding a boundary. She tries to make you the villain. That's when you stop trying to handle her better and start asking yourself if she's even qualified to be in your life, because you don't build a peaceful relationship with someone who needs chaos. Now, at this point, some men will say, so what do I do? Just leave? Not always, but you do need to set a structure. A calm man's structure is simple. Respect is the entry fee. Maturity is the currency. Drama is not rewarded. And this structure is not explained in a speech. It's enforced through behavior. If she's respectful, she gets your warmth. If she's disrespectful, she gets distance. If she communicates clearly, she gets your presence. If she escalates, she gets no access until she can speak like an adult. That's it. Simple. And if you stay consistent, something interesting happens. Women stop testing as much because tests are for uncertainty. When you are consistent, uncertainty shrinks. When you fold sometimes and stand firm other times, uncertainty grows. That inconsistency triggers more tests. So the real secret is consistency. Calm men are consistent, not rigid, not harsh, consistent. Now, I want to address the biggest fear men have. They fear that if they don't react, she will think they don't care. So they overreact to prove love. But love is not proven through emotional chaos. Love is proven through steadiness, through reliability, through leadership, through being a man whose emotions don't control him. So you don't need to prove you care by chasing her panic. You show you care by being stable enough to handle her emotions without being infected by them. That is the kind of masculine presence that actually creates long-term attraction. Now, I'm going to give you a method to pass these tests in a way that builds attraction instead of destroying it. I call it warm control. Warm control is three things. You stay calm, you stay respectful, you stay direct. Calm means you don't match chaos. Respectful means you don't insult or punish. Direct means you don't avoid the issue. Most men only do one of these. They stay direct, but not calm. That becomes arguing. They stay calm, but not direct. That becomes stonewalling. They stay respectful, but not firm. That becomes submission. Warm control combines all three, and women feel it immediately. They feel, this man cannot be manipulated, but he is not emotionally absent. He has boundaries, but he doesn't hate women. He leads, but he doesn't dominate. He's safe, but he's not weak. That combination is rare, and rarity creates attraction. Now, here are a few practical examples of warm control in action. She says, you never make time for me. Warm control response, I make time when the relationship is healthy. I'm not available for guilt trips. If you want more time, ask for it directly and we'll plan it. That response is calm, respectful, direct. She says, you don't care like you used to. Warm control. I care, I just don't perform. If you need something, say it clearly. She says, if you leave, we're done. Warm control. If that's your decision, that's your decision. I'm not negotiating through threats. Now, notice what you're doing. You are refusing the emotional manipulation, but you are not being cruel. You're not begging. You're not attacking. You're simply staying in your frame. Now, let's talk about the long-term effect. When you handle drama tests correctly, 3 things happen. 1, you become more attractive to emotionally healthy women because you feel like a leader. 2, you become less attractive to emotionally chaotic women because you refuse to participate in the cycle. 3, you stop losing your mind in relationships because you stop living in reaction mode. You gain peace. And peace is the real flex. Not being mysterious, not being hard to get, peace. Now, let's close with a warning and a challenge. The warning is this: if you confuse calm masculinity with emotional distance, you will attract instability and repel healthy love, because healthy women want a man who is steady and present. They don't want a man who is numb. They don't want to feel like they're dating a wall. They want to feel chosen by a man who has standards. So don't become indifferent. Become disciplined. And here's the challenge. The next time a woman tries to pull you into drama, do not debate the topic. Lead the tone. Ask for clarity. Set the standard. And watch what happens. Because her response will tell you everything. If she softens, she's capable of connection. If she escalates, she's addicted to control. And either way, you win because you get truth. That's the power of calm men. They don't chase confusion. They create clarity, and they don't fear losing a woman who requires chaos because they know peace is the foundation of any relationship worth having. If you want the next video, comment the keyword drama and subscribe if you're building calm masculinity the right way. Warm, grounded, disciplined, and impossible to manipulate.